Have you heard anything about a ghost named Chloe on the Myrtle Plantation? Interesting history and the 11 other ghosts she lives with. Check out the cool paranormal, After Lives Matter tea. Find my merch link before they're all gone. Why does Chloe still haunt the Myrtle? The owner would sneak around and have relations with his female slaves. Chloe served as governess to the children. Chloe was disgusted with the thought of the judge having his way with her. So Chloe did what she had to do. Working in the big house was as close to freedom as a slave could expect at that time. Terrified of being sent back to the fields, Chloe began eavesdropping on the family's conversations. The owner caught her and was so enraged that he grabbed her and sliced off one of her ears. From that day forward, Chloe wore a green turban around her head to hide her shameful wound. Chloe knew she had to do something fast to prove her worth to the family. But what? Chloe then came up with a plan. She picked one of the oleander plants growing beside the house. The leaves of this plant contained a small amount of poison, which she secretly added to the birthday cake for the eldest daughter. She figured if she made the family sick, she could nurse them back to health and prove herself invaluable to the family. She cared for the children and was careful to only add enough poison to make them slightly ill. Chloe soon found out she had made a terrible mistake. One by one, they dropped their utensils and began writhing and moaning in agony. Chloe helped them to their beds and tried desperately to save them, but it was too late. Soon the young girls, their mother and her unborn child were all dead. As word spread throughout Myrtle's plantation, the other slaves were terrified that the judge would take his anger at Chloe out on them. To save their own hides, they knew that they had to do something to prove their loyalty to the judge. So, one night, a lynch mob grabbed Chloe while she slept and hanged her from one of the oak trees. After she died, they cut her down, weighted her body with rocks, and tossed her into the Mississippi River. The judge promptly sealed off the dining room and never used it again. In the early 1990s, Myrtle's plantation's owners photographed the property for a new fire insurance policy. They spotted something strange. Standing in a breezeway between the general store and Butler's pantry buildings was an unknown, shadowy figure. Researchers carefully studied the photo and concluded it wasn't doctored. It showed a human, feminine figure dressed as a slave would be. Like, say, Chloe. The slaves believed if they weighed down the body in the river, the spirit could not rise and harm anyone. Yet rumors assert she eerily wanders around Myrtle's plantation to this day. The Myrtle's plantation is located in Louisiana, just outside the tiny community of St. Francisville. St. Francisville claims to have more haunted plantations per capita than any other southern city. While the plantation is primarily a bed and breakfast, the owners actively promote the house's haunted past. In fact, it is known as America's most haunted house.